Good Monday morning, folks. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torgrosa. Welcome to February already. We've been talking about a slow evolving to a different pattern, weather pattern, coming out of the west, southwest, a little bit more moisture, and that is going to be the case. We'll see it kick in today, basically, and into the next week. So I'm going to call it three weather messes, because it looks like each system, not so much today, but the system on Wednesday night, Thursday morning, and the system later in the weekend, both have the possibility of a freezing rain zone with them. And that makes sense. February is that kind of month. By the way, as I look out into the second, third week of February, even the end of February, it looks like days of old. Remember, February used to be, in a traditional Michigan winter, used to be a winter month, and it certainly looks like February will be just that, along with some more moisture. Now, with the active storm track, I will say that none of these storms can build up to be a mega storm. It looks like all of these are 3 to 6 inch swaths of snow, where it's all snow, and a tenth to a quarter inch of ice where it's ice. So let's get on into it and show you what's going on. We'll handle the first mess, which is a snow in the northern third of the state, northern third of lower Michigan. It's a snow, but it's a soupy mess here in the southern half. So dense fog advisory until noon in the gray shaded counties. I don't know why in the eastern part of the state we don't have a dense fog advisory. Mount Clemens reporting a 1/16 of a mile visibility. Pontiac, an 1/8 of a mile. Most observing sites reporting a 1/4 mile visibility, and that usually sparks a dense fog advisory. You maybe often wonder, why do we see it just end right there at Gratiot County or Clinton County? Those are different. What you see right there are the different National Weather Service office coverages. So, for example, like Aranac County, not under a winter weather advisory, and probably shouldn't be, but then the county to the north, Iosco County, is Gaylord versus the Detroit White Lake office, and on the dense fog advisory, Grand Rapids versus the Detroit White Lake office. So just a little different philosophy, and that's where you get some of the times these odd breaks. So winter weather advisory in the purple until 3 p.m. and dense fog advisory in the gray until noon. And what that does for you is it tells you that, we should have the fog lifting to a safer visibility by the time we get into the afternoon. Now here's the current radar, and where you have the snow now is where it stays put, and where you're dry is where you stay dry. Aside from that little batch of rain showers moving through Saginaw County, Genesee County, Gratiot County onto the east, let's go to the radar forecast. Okay, Pamela Todorov says icy roads. Yeah, you can watch out for that. You can watch out for freezing fog on the roads, although the air temperatures are mostly reported as 34, 35, 36 degrees. Sometimes you get a low spot and the fog freezes. Okay, so here's the radar forecast, and basically the story is the snow in the northern third of lower Michigan stays there, snows all day, and ends this afternoon. This is noontime. So snow from, say, maybe Bay City, northward, in through Cadillac, Traverse City, Houghton Lake, and the Sunrise side. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock this afternoon, still same spot. 3 o'clock this afternoon, same spot, same southern edge, Big Rapids to the north side of Bay City. 5 o'clock, 6, done. You see little batches of what the model wants to forecast as freezing rain. It'd be very light, very spotty, and you can get a slick spot, but it's not something that we will really majorly be concerned about. And overnight we dry out. Okay, so total additional snowfall Nice compact little system. A couple of inches have fallen already, so it's going to be a 4 to 6 inch snow by the time it's done. Vern Fondren says getting hammered with snow in the Waters Gaylord area. Yeah, it's a vigorous snow along that axis and will be so into the early afternoon. So you get another 2 to 4 inches. The entire Traverse City area down to Cadillac, over to Houghton Lake and Grayling and Gaylord, and then you get it into West Branch and you get it into Tawas City as well. Hey, good morning, Alberto Huesca. Hopefully I did that right. Linda Ringholz, thanks for watching. And Julie Imore from Stanwood, good morning to you. So, Saginaw, southward, Saginaw, Big Rapids, southward, no snowfall accumulation. Okay, now we're going to talk about the other weather messes coming. And remember, I told you that these storm systems are going to be spaced apart about every 3 to 4 days. So one's Wednesday night, Thursday morning. Next one looks like it's been consistently about Sunday. When storms are that close, each individual storm can't build up to be a big one. That's what I'm saying. It's a 3 to 6 swath of snow in general terms. It's a 10 to quarter inch of ice where that happens, and even maybe some rain in some of these storm systems. But we'll generally use the European model for this because it does pretty well. The U.S. model, it comes close to it. It's the U.S. model called the GFS at that time period. Really doesn't hold up to the European. I'll just say it. It's one of those things that we need to do better on that perspective. We have other models that are great, like this high resolution rapid refresh that I just showed you. That's a great severe weather and life-saving model. So this is Wednesday night, early Thursday morning, if you will, 1 in the morning on Thursday. The, what is that color? Purplish pink. That's freezing rain. This is 1 a.m. to 7 a.m. Thursday morning. So Thursday morning, central third of lower Michigan could be quite icy, quite dangerous travel. And then you go north of that, you'd be into snow. South of that, you may be into just rain. That moves off Thursday morning and colder air pours in. And then everything continues to show. This would actually be Saturday, so it would be already by Saturday. This would be Saturday morning, early afternoon, Saturday evening. Again, snow, freezing rain zone, and a rain zone, and off to the east, and some colder temperatures, and then the next one, which would be 10 days out, which we don't really believe, but we like the idea that storms are going to continue to come in from the west-southwest, and then that one shows a snow. Of course, again, we don't really focus on the track this far out, just rather the idea that something's spaced apart about every 3 days or so. So how much freezing rain is going to be our thing? And I will say one thing here. Watch out. Watch out for your internet weather spam, let's call it. A lot of these models oftentimes will, for a 6-hour period, crank out a half inch or 3/4 of an inch of ice. And the alarmist basement amateur wannabe meteorologist but couldn't pass a math class, people that post online, will show you that. And then I, as a professional, have to go through and try to waste my time and answer your questions. So if you see a post like that, here's what I would do. I would ask that person that posted it why they think it's going to be a half inch or 3/4 of an inch of ice. Okay? So in other words, in general terms, this kind of weather scenario brings a 1/10 to a 1/4 of an inch of ice. You could find a spot that might go a little bit above a 1/4 of an inch, and sometimes we get a melt off too. So here we go, but nonetheless, any ice is not good. So again, this is the European. It can go a little bit crazy, but this would be by Wednesday evening 7. This would be by 1 a.m. Thursday. Okay, and don't focus on that 0.82 around Kalamazoo. It will change. Focus on where it's at, the southern third of the state, and then as you go toward Thursday morning, if you're driving from Saginaw or Bay City or Midland south to Ann Arbor, you're going to have a difficult time at 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch of ice, and then it's off. Okay, and then we'll just keep the same model and show you that it wants to do the same kind of thing on Saturday, and it's the same kind of weather scenario, so we would believe that another 1/10 to 1/4 incher possible. How much snow? Once you throw in freezing rain, you usually see the snow amounts go down. So this is today's snow, and we talked about it. It's another 2 to 4 inches in the north. And then this is Wednesday night and Thursday's snow. And, if you're going to get 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch of ice in the Saginaw Valley area, you're not going to get a ton of snow. You're going to get 1 to 3 inches of snow with that. And on the north side, it's not a robust snowmaker. And from I-69 southward, it's not much of a snowmaker at all. And then as we go into the Saturday-Sunday storm system, may have like I like to say, a situational forecast. It may have a 3 to 6 inch band of snow just to the north of where the freezing rain is, and that could be in the northern half of lower Michigan. Temperatures, the other thing, the theme that we're seeing now for February is a slow oozing of colder air into the Great Lakes as we go into the month. So we probably will start to lean toward 5 to 10 degrees colder than normal. Will we go to way below zero? It's hard to say. Probably not, but we'll have to keep an eye on it. So you'll see here now the high temperatures. And today, what a big spread from the near 40, in the 40s in the far south along the border, to in the 20s in the north. Tomorrow will be colder for everyone. The wind will turn around in the northwest. We're back to winter in the south, 20s, teens in the north for highs. Wednesday in the 20s, so that sets us up for the freezing rain. Now Thursday's forecast takes it to 36 in Saginaw and Bay City, which would mean after the 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch of rain, of freezing rain, we could melt off. So it may be the case where Thursday afternoon becomes safe again. And then Friday colder. And, we just see gradually as we head into mid-February, temperatures that are going to be highs in the teens and 20s, and that would bring us lows in the single digits and teens. And bear in mind, again, this model has a pitfall of being cold way out in the future if it has that chance. So won't necessarily go along with that, but we will say one thing, that's for sure, is that we better plan on February acting like February's of old and being a winter month. As we get toward the end of February, the sun has some power. We start to pop up. We start to flirt with 40 degrees if you get a sunny day, or certainly crack the freezing mark. But for the next 3 weeks, you better just get ready to enjoy winter. And I will keep you updated because we are going to have periods where you'll have dangerous travel. Right now, we're going to target northern third of the state for this afternoon, and be careful of the fog in the south. And then we're going to target Thursday morning in the center of lower Michigan, central strip of lower Michigan, for a possible very icy drive. All right. I'll have posts on that as the new data comes in. We'll be fine-tuning it. Thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update, brought to you by me and MLive. And I will see you back here tomorrow. Keep you updated on the weather. Take care.